Hi everybody, welcome to day 19 of our 15 minutes of flexibility. Today you're going to need a foam roller, okay, for a little drill towards the end of the session. If you don't have a foam roller, a cushion or a big towel rolled up into a fat ball will do as an alternative. We're not foam rolling, we just need it for something towards the end. Okay, apart from that, mat is optional as always, okay, and all you need today is a good clear space and doing a good mobilizing session on the floor. Don't need a bench, you don't need your doorway. All you need is loads of space, and if you've got that foam roller or a cushion, okay? If you need to press pause, organize yourself, come back, press play, follow me for the 15 minutes. I'm going to get straight down here and get stuck in. Okay, so with foot out front, going to do a regular hip complex like we would for any of our warm-up session or our warm-ups just to start off. You're going to get into that half kneeling position, slide your back foot as far back as it can go, and we're going to do 5 circles clockwise and anti-clockwise with the hips. So picture yourself from above, and I'm trying to draw the circle with my hips rather than my ankles. Some people get confused sometimes. Try and draw it here. It's more so coming from the hips. Drop the back leg to the ground, and you're going to squeeze your glute and lift, relax and drop for 5. You're pushing your toe down, you're clenching your glute. You're letting the knee lock out as you lift, and then leave it there on the ground. Take the hand off the foot, elbow down as low as you can get it, up and across for 5. Looking at the hand as you go, open your chest up. We're doing 5 reps, and we're going to push forward as far as you can, plenty weight on the knee, sit back onto the other heel, and we're going to alternate between those 2 positions for 5 reps. So when we're sitting back, we're hitting that hamstring. When we're pushing forward, we're hitting this ankle. Pushing forward and sitting back, 5 reps. And swapping around then, and getting back to start on the other side. Front foot is planted, nice and far in front, hand is on, back leg is up, and we're doing those circles. Again, each direction as big as you can. 5 clockwise, 5 anti-clockwise. And then work that back leg. So the knee drops, then you squeeze your glute and lift, relax and drop for 5. And I'm pushing the toe down as I clench the glute. That's going to help me squeeze my quad as well. Extending the hip. And it's elbow down and up and over. Again for 5. Opening up your chest to the ceiling. Looking at the hand as you go. If you don't get inside, if you don't get that elbow to the ground, get as close as possible. And pushing forward. Sitting back to finish off. As far as you can get. Right back onto the other heel. Again, hit that hamstring nicely as you sit back. And we're going to get straight into some cat camels. Okay, so hands planted. We're going to try and focus on the hips, okay? The pelvic tilt as I tuck my chin in. Arch my back up to the ceiling. Okay, roll that hip underneath. Try and suck my belly button up as high as I can. Hold it for a second. And then starting from here, roll those hips back. Work it up your back, finishing by craning your neck up to the ceiling. Then from this position, start with your chin, tuck it in, and try and roll down. Finishing, okay, with that pelvic tuck and sucking that belly button up again as high as you can. Tilt back, work your way up. Finish with the eyes up to the ceiling. And we're going to go for 10 reps. Just hold in each position for a second to make sure you're happy that you've gotten as much out of it as possible. That you've exaggerated that arch as much as you can. When I'm in that camel, this position here, I can just move slightly side to side with my hips, or forward and back. I can feel it stretch my lower back a little bit more, or it just helps me find some tightness. Not so much in the cat in this position, but when that back is up as high as possible, I've tucked in as much as I can. I'm just moving those hips side to side, or forward and back, and it helps me find different tightness. Alright, we're going to stay here, we're going to do 10 scapular press-ups. So we're keeping those elbows locked out, and we're trying to move up and down without bending our arms or without using our arms. We're bringing our shoulder blades together as we drop our chest. We feel them spread apart as we press back up. Again, elbows stay locked out as much as possible. You're not using your arms to do a regular press up. Mm. 10 reps. We're going to just lie face down then with our hands out at our side, facing up. So they're rotating, so you're facing up, and we're going opposite foot to opposite hand or as close as possible for 20. So it's going to be 10 each side alternating. Let's get as close as you can. I look away from the hand that I'm going towards. That helps me get a bit further or a bit closer. If you look away, trying to keep your hands at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So we're going for 20. We're taking our time, trying to get as close to hand as possible. Again, I look away from the side that I'm moving. That helps me get a little bit further or a little bit closer. Hip flexor getting stretched here. Back getting some blood flow and plenty of move. I'm going to flick over, and we're going to do the exact opposite straight away. 20, again 10 each side, alternating. Again, try not to lift your hands, just keep them at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and get as close as you can for 20. Lower back now this time, and glutes, getting loads of blood flow, a bit of a stretch as I get that foot all the way up. Trying to keep the foot or the leg relatively straight. Try not to bend the knee too much. And this time I look at the hand that I'm going to. Okay, and that helps me get that a little bit closer. So again, 20, 10 each side. Just taking a breath every now and again. Just making sure that I'm not getting too uptight. I'm not holding my breath. Alright, you're taking your time finishing your 20 off. We're going to stay down here. We're just going to roll out our back, a couple of rolls, see if there's any cracks there. Curl into that little small ball. Okay, just keep your chin tucked in. And I'm throwing myself up, right up, so I come back to this position each time. Some people mightn't get anything out of this. I definitely get a couple of cracks almost every time. Just do 5. And we're going to lie back flat then. And just rock those knees side to side together. Okay, keep the feet together, keep the knees together. Trying to get them all the way to the ground. We're going for 10s, 5 each side. Alright. So we're going to do a couple of 1990s, working some movement, blood flow into the hips. So we're sitting up, You're going to support yourself with both hands down behind you, okay? We're not going to lift any hands up while we move. Feet should be just outside hips, okay? So they shouldn't be too close. Just outside the hips. And I'm going to keep my chest, so I'm going to support myself with both my hands. Chest is going to stay square, facing forward as I get both knees to the ground. And we're going to go for 20, so 10 each side, okay? Just give myself a little bit more room here. So again, feet just outside the hips. Try and keep my chest square facing forward as I get both knees to the floor, nice and slow and controlled. Just readjusting myself on the floor, so I'm taking the load in my hands behind me. There, fully supporting myself. I'm nearly lifting my bum off the floor every rep, or just after every rep. No, it's just mid-rep actually, to stop myself from moving around. Sometimes do this, end up a meter back or a meter forward, especially when your hands are up off the floor. So I'm just using those hands behind me to support myself. Again, just to pivot around on the floor so that I don't move around a whole lot. Really nice. We're focusing on the second knee coming down. First knee goes down pretty easy, but it's the second knee that we need to give it an extra little push, and then we feel that good stretch there on the back of the hip and around the glutes. We're going to finish it off 20 on each side. And we're just going to do a little bit more blood flow, a little hip strengthening drill down here. So in the finishing position, one side, both knees are on the floor. This knee is just at that heel. Got my hand in the gap between my feet, or between my legs. And the other hand out behind me, okay, for a bit of support. I'm going to lift my back foot off the floor. Feel this cramp up, okay, really bad up here. Your hip flexors up here at the top. To lift that foot up, we're just going to do 10 reps this side, okay? So keep your knee on the floor, lift that foot up, hold it for a second. You're probably going to cramp pretty bad up here, just around your pocket, that's fine, that's what we're trying to do. Trying to get blood flow into some of these weaker hip flexors. And if you can hold it for a second, just a split second, that's brilliant. You can see I'm not coming up off the floor too high. It's important that your knee stays on the ground. When you've 10 done, just going to go the opposite side. So again, finish position on the opposite side. Both knees on the floor, this knee just behind the heel. Hands on the ground for support. And then we're going to lift that. Again, you're going to feel this cramp pretty bad up around here. That's fine, it's good, that's what we're trying to do. Just 10 reps. And we're going to do something similar. Just get into a straddle. You're going to keep your legs pointing away. Just going to hit hip flexors at the front now. Hands either side for a bit of control, for a bit of balance. And I'm lifting that leg and holding it just for a second. Do this side first, actually you can see it a bit better on the camera. It's not going up too high. Holding it for a second, leg is dead straight, quad, hip flexor, all going to cramp. We're just going to do 10 reps. The further down your hands are, the harder it is. So keep your hands just around your knee for the time being. Core is squeezing. Just try and hold it for a second again. Pointing the toe away. So the arch of my foot is squeezing to keep that foot actively pointing away. Core is tight, keeping the knee locked out. And the hip flexor is doing the work just to lift the holding then or strengthening it. 10 on the opposite side then, once you're done. And relax the opposite leg to the one that's working, obviously just focusing on that one. So, getting your roller, keeping it nearby. Quick little reset for our lower spine. Really good for glutes and hips. We're going to just lie back. Change my mat around actually. Get ourselves into a dead bug position, or almost a hollow position, where my lower back is flat to the floor, shoulders are up, legs are up, so my stomach is really tight. I'm going to be pushing away on one knee, and I'm going to be pulling the other one, okay? But I'm going to resist. So I'm applying the pull and the push, but I'm resisting with my glutes and my core. And I'm going to alternate for 10, okay? I'm going to alternate for 10 reps. And you're going to increase the intensity as you go. So you're starting off just with a gentle push and pull. You're resisting just for a second before you swap. But by the last 2 reps, I want you giving it loads, okay? Pushing as hard as I can, resisting as hard as I can. Again, it's glutes and core that are doing the resisting. And you can relax for a second. Core is feeling that, okay? If you're applying a lot of resistance, that gets pretty tough. You're going to grab your roller, or like I said, if you don't have one, a cushion or something will do. Stick it between your legs. We're going to glute bridge, okay? And we're going to squeeze the roller at the top. So I'm going to drive my heels down, okay? Clench my glutes really tight, get it up. Make sure that you're not overarching your back, so your chest, your stomach, your quad should be just nice, one straight line. At the top, you're squeezing the roller. We're going to do 5 reps, and again, like we did with the push-pull, we're going to increase the intensity a little bit. So that by those last 2 reps, you're going to be squeezing that roller as hard as you can. You're going to be clenching those glutes, driving those heels as hard as you can. So my 3rd rep, like I said, 5 reps, increase in intensity. You might get a couple of cracks out of your lower spine, okay, that's good. If you hear a few pops or a few crunches down there, that's a good thing. Alright. Okay, to finish off, we're just going to do 2 stretches, just going to hit our glutes and our quads. I'm going to hit my glutes lying back. So you're lying back flat, you're going to lift your knee up. So my left knee is up here, my left hand goes behind, my right hand grabs the foot and pulls it across, and I'm going to hold that there. Okay, so again, left foot up, left hand behind, right hand on the foot, pull it across your body. And now when I'm down here for the minute or so, I'm just going to move that leg around. I'm moving the knee around the chest, over and back, and I'm moving the foot nice and close to the ground. Again, I'm trying to keep my chest facing up to the ceiling, trying not to roll completely on my side. Get my eyes facing up. And relax on the soft side. Then right foot up, right hand behind the knee, left hand grabs the toe and pull it down across your body to the side. Again, chest facing up the ceiling, try not to roll completely on your side. The opposite leg stays straight here. Nice pull here on this glute, back of the hip. Alright, finish it off then, jumping up onto our knees. Just going to hit both quads at the same time. Okay, feet either on your toes or like so. That's a little bit more advanced. Okay, I'm going to just stay on your toes. It's a lot more comfortable for a lot of people. Nice gap between my knees. Just going to reach back, so both hands on the floor behind me. And now I'm going to relax. I'm going to try and lift my hips off my heels by squeezing my glutes, and that's going to hit both quads at the same time. So support myself fully on my hands here. As you can see, I have a really big gap between my knees. Just relax there for a second. Now I'm going to squeeze those glutes, lift those hips up. So they're off my heels there now. Both quads getting hit nicely here. And I relax. That's a bit hard to hold for too long. So just hold for like 10 seconds at a time. So again, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips and hold. You don't need to go too high at all. Okay, once you're pushing your hips away whatsoever, you're going to get a nice bit there. Try and bring the knees a little bit closer together for one more. And relax. Alright, so I think we've gone a couple of minutes, a little bit over there. Definitely after hitting our 15 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, hope you're finding these beneficial. We've got 2 more coming up to finish off our 21-day focus. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.